A woman's life is turned upside down when her criminal parents invite an outsider to join them on a major heist they're planning. Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. Elliot back again with a brand new review for the new crime comedy drama that premiered earlier this year at Sundance. I'm talking about KAJILLIONAIRE, directed by Miranda July. Very excited to let you all know what I thought about this film in this non-spoiler review. Before we dive into the details, as you can see on the screen now, make sure you follow me on all my other social media accounts, so that way you can stay up to date with what's going on over here at Movie Files. If you are new to Movie Files, definitely subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it so you can stay up to date with all my latest movie reviews, TV reviews, and all the fun things we do on this very channel. Make sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up, helps out the channel, and I also really appreciate it. And in the comments below, let me know if you've seen this film at the Sundance Film Festival, if you're excited for this movie, and once you've seen it, let's talk about it, your pros, your cons. Let's have some open discussions, some fun conversations in the comments below. So again, KAJILLIONAIRE did premiere earlier this year, got some really positive reviews. Shout out to Focus Features, who let me see this film early. I had an early screener, so thank you guys for that. And yeah, Miranda July, not too familiar with their work, but I was talking to a friend of mine on Instagram. Shout out to Eve from Cinematics. She let me know she's a fan of this director. I've never seen any of her films, but she did say she's a very unique director, to say the least. And I always love quirky, unique directors. So starting off with the positives. So first and foremost, this is a slice of life type of film, right? We're seeing this family of three, the Dye family, played by Evan Rachel Wood as old Dolio Dine. We have Richard Jenkins as Robert Dine, and we have Diana Wagner as Teresa Dine. And it's very interesting to see their choice of life. They are, to be frank, they're con artists. They, if there's a loophole to find a way to get a penny out of something, whether that is taking advantage of older people, whether that is stealing people's mail, whether that's going on an airplane and taking every little scrap that you can find that people left behind, they will find a way to scheme, to con artist their way out of a situation. A very interesting type of film, because what I liked about this film was that it really kind of makes you think, okay, you think of a con artist and you just think that naturally, morally speaking, that person's a bad person. They probably don't have good morals. But what I like what this film does is, sure, there are bad people that have these bad intentions, taking advantage of people, but there's also the other side of it, where this is how they were taught. This is how they were raised. This is how they survive. And they're not necessarily a bad person, but they're just a product of their environment. I like how Miranda kind of tells that story, and it's also highlighted beautifully by the performances from this main cast. Starting off with our supporting cast members, you have Robert and Teresa, the parents of old Dolio, which is just funny how they came up with that name. But these parents are very interesting. Again, they look for every single way, every loophole to take advantage of, whether it be paying their rent, whether it be how they get food, how they get clothes, how they get everything in their lives. So I like the characteristics and how they brought these characters to life, because they're Richard Jenkins. I'm a big fan of his work. He's always just has this kind of weirdness to his characters, and I like what he did in this film. And again, Teresa Dine, they're just a really interesting characters. But the highlights, the two standouts for me in this particular movie was Evan Rachel Wood as Old Dolio. She's the lead of this film, and again, these are her parents. So can you imagine being raised by people that take advantage of other people's, that are criminals, essentially? They find loopholes to take advantage of things. So just seeing her character and how she is trying to develop herself. She's 26 years old, so she really doesn't know how to interact with people, how to have a natural conversation with people. She's always thinking of a way of, like, how do I get out of the situation? How many cameras are in this grocery store? So just seeing her character become more of a person as the film goes on, I thought it was played beautifully by Rachel Wood. And then kind of a wild card, I didn't know this person was going to be so as involved in the story as she was, and that's Gina Rodriguez as Melanie. Once she comes into the film, that's when the film kind of really picked up for me. But she was a very welcome character to this situation, because again, you have these sets of people that are just so stuck in their ways and trying to find out a way how to scheme people, but then you have this other person who has their own package, who has their own baggage, and her relationship with her mom was interesting. And kind of everyone's kind of a con artist in a sense, and they're all kind of being phony with each other. So it was really interesting to see Melanie be dropped into this equation. So I really enjoyed the performances across the board, and I thought the direction was quirky enough. I love a quirky director, a unique director. I thought the script was really well done. I really enjoyed the story. Again, the message behind this film about morality, about con artists, about scheming, about being a product of your environment. I love the story within this film. I thought it was told beautifully by the director. And again, once we get the injection of Melanie's character, it really kind of sets the stage for a very interesting dynamic for the rest of this film. But transitioning to some of the criticism I have with this film, I will say the first half for me wasn't as engaging, or I wasn't as entertained as I was when the second half takes place. The beginning of the movie is really kind of repetitive for me because you get an idea of how they make a living, how they get food, how they pay their rent, how to interact with other people, and it kind of gets redundant at a certain extent. And I just didn't know. The first half to me didn't really have much of a end point of where this story is headed until we get the Melanie character, and then you're like, okay, now I kind of see there's this kind of competition between Melanie and Old Doyle, and as the film goes on, we see them kind of get a different relationship. But the first half wasn't just as strong as the first one, as the second half, I should say. And then also, this is not necessarily a negative, but I think it would have helped the film. It would have been nice to had spent more time with the parents to see how they came about to be these type of people. Was them having a daughter part of their scheme, part of their con artist situation? I would have liked to have seen one or two scenes with Odolio as a young child. You kind of get how she was raised, but I would have liked to have seen one or two scenes to kind of really dive deeper into these characters and how they came to be who they are. And then this is just like kind of a minor issue with the film. Evan Rachel Wood has this characteristic where she's very odd, she's very quirky, very unique. Again, she's very kind of contained within how she was raised, but she does this thing with her voice. Well, it's not a thing. She talks this way the whole time, which is like very like, oh, like, okay, yeah. It's like, to me, that character choice, again, I don't know if it was a direction from the director or if it was something that Rachel wanted to add to the character just to kind of become the character. We know that some actors like to do, I won't say method acting, but it was like some way to kind of tap into the character. That voice characteristic choice didn't work for me at times, but again, you get used to it. But that's a very minor thing. But besides those things, overall, to me, this is a fun comedy drama with an interesting set of characters, and definitely makes me interested in seeing more from this director. And also, like I said, the conversation at hand, again, are con artists, are people that break the law, that do these scheming, conniving things, are they bad people, or are they product of their environments? Can they change? Can they do better? I like the kind of the message and the theme and the story within this film. So with that being said, I'm giving KAJILLIONAIRE a 3.5 out of 5. Again, it premiered at Sundance earlier this year, and it will be available limited in theaters September 25th, but it will be available on VOD October 16th. And I recommend you all, if you can't see it at the theaters because with everything going on, definitely give it a chance when it's available on VOD October 16th. 3.5 out of 5 for KAJILLIONAIRE. Check it out. And when you do, let me know what you all thought of the film. If you've seen it already, let me know your pros, your cons. Are you excited for seeing this movie? And like I said, once you've ultimately seen it, let me know what you thought of this film and if it's something you guys would recommend for others to check out. But that's my thought of KAJILLIONAIRE. As always, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell while you're at it so you don't miss any of my other new movie reviews, TV reviews, trailer reactions, and all the fun things we do on this very channel. Thank you all for watching this review. Hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you on the next video.